So for our next segment, deep dive. There it is.
You were getting worried there for a second?
Yeah, I wasn't getting worried. If you're new, deep dive is the segment where we kind of really go in depth and break down gameplay. And
Yep.
like he said earlier, we now have the high-tech technology to make sure there's no frame rate or lag. Fingers crossed, hopefully.
Yep.
And we'll be walking you through the map. We'll be breaking it down. We'll be pausing, talking about spawns,
So
breaks.
I may have taken out one map that we were going to do.
Okay.
I may have taken it. I'm not going to say what it was.
Okay.
But I think we're going to do 2 full maps today. I think a lot of people can probably guess which one is one of them. And then we're going to do one like miniature one just to, keep the time constraints within a reasonable, reasonable time. So
You don't got to explain yourself, man.
I just want to explain to the chat a little bit. Without further ado, let's hop into our first map. It's Hotel Hardpoint. You can clearly tell that. Vegas versus Thieves. I
lost some money here.
Sorry, I accidentally exited out. Potentially one of the biggest breakdowns that we have
no pun
ever
intended.
seen in Call of Duty history. This comeback rivals some of the insane ones. Take me through the start here, Zen.
Yeah, Thieves look dominant to the point where I even make a wager on stream where I say I'll gift everybody on the couch 100 subs because I thought it was so out of reach for Vegas. And spoiler, sorry, Vegas somehow come back from like a 207 to 60 deficit, and I lost about $1,500 because of it. So
270 to 60? That's mathematically impossible.
I said 270?
I think so.
207, I said.
Oh.
I think.
I'm sorry, I'm hearing things. But here we go. We've got Thieves starting on that good side. So there's a misconception on this map for some people that maybe don't play as much, and they think good side is starting on P2 side. It's actually the opposite, Zen. Talk to me about why that is.
Yeah, so when you're spawning on that hot tub side, you can beat them to the hill, and also you can just throw tacks to every single cut, right? You can stun double arches, you can stun big door, and also no one has dead silence this early, so you can sound whore the top cat pinch, you can sound whore connector, you can throw tacks literally everywhere, couches, connector, everywhere, and you beat them to hill. So, P2 is actually not the right or not the best spawn.
Well, you see here.
But you think it would be.
Yeah, you see right here, off the rip, LA gets 40 seconds off of the P1 hill because they spawn close. They end up getting the kills. If you get the kills, you're going to soak up some time. But then they put them in the super hyper blender, and they win the P2 rotation, and they're up 61-0. At this point, we're watching this series. We were probably saying this is over.
Yeah,
they come out like this.
Especially talking about Thieves. Obviously, we know now they did not have a tournament that any of us expected. None of us saw Thieves going home at the hands of the Vegas Legion, but nonetheless,
you got to give credit to Legion as well.
100%.
Legion. So it's one of those Call of Duty moments. So Call of Duty, I think, is one of the most fragile esports in the world in terms of getting comebacked on. There's obviously comebacks in every esport, don't get me wrong, but Call of Duty, there's so many minuscule decisions, split-second decisions that are going down that you make a couple of those in a row that are wrong, things start to spiral out of control.
Yeah, and let's just talk about P3 for a moment. So P3 on Hotel, the small kitchen, as we all know, you kind of have...
You love the kitchen.
It's a very hard hill to break. Yeah, the snakes are in. It's a hard hill to break.
I meant in real life.
Yeah, so do you. Why are you talking like, yeah.
I need to get I'm sorry.
So Thieves just have them in the super duper blend here. Look where Vegas is spawning. They're constantly spawning middle, and Thieves knows that. So Envoy pushes the diner. He gets a couple kills. He knows all fronts clear. Vegas kind of has
look at
no
this
way to retake this. Thieves are just... Go ahead.
Yeah, look at this setup. So you have 5 pushing out diners. So the spawns here are like diner side, like back here, or they're middle whenever you have both of them pushed out. So right here, they have 7 watching the cross middle on an off angle, which is draws. They have 5 pushed up in diner. He's going to be getting cuts rug.
It's a great off angle, too, because whoever's rounding couches is going to be aimed towards, that mid-heady hop. They're not going to be centered on this.
This is an insane off angle. Yeah. We talk about off angles. And
I'm not talking Kurt angle.
Correct. We talk about off angles in terms of, not getting camera. You use that one a lot.
Yeah,
I don't even react to it.
I love it.
But we talk about off angles. This is one of them where people would normally expect you to be on this back heady or on this pull heady right here. But he's in just an off angle, and he's going to get minimum 1. Unless he just gets world starred, which we'll let it play out just to show you guys what happens. But yeah, he gets a freebie right there. Starts rotating bottom bed because he thinks someone's taking a long route, but they're not even doing that. They're just in a super ultra.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best play from Vegas here, obviously in hindsight, is try to send someone around that bed pinch and pinch bottom bed to shoot draws on the side. That being said, in the heat of the moment in a match like this, it's a lot easier to talk where we're sitting. But I don't think anybody looked at this map and saw a world where Vegas could win it at this very moment. I mean, it's 120 to 15, and Thieves are just all out frying. So,
I don't think there was a single person in the world, if there was like a Vegas betting, like the odds at a certain point in the game, because don't they update usually?
Yeah.
The odds were probably insane. I mean, it's 130 to 17 right here. You see Thieves trying to work around the back. Typically, teams will do a 3-1 here and send 3 of their people around the back to try to clear these guys back spa, back P2, which is what Thieves does. And again, they just make it look way too easy. They kill 3 through the back, and they're in. Now they got them trapped. And on this hill, I don't really think. Obviously, there's a better side on this hill to hold down, but when you're in this trap, it's kind of impossible. Like, look at Thieves. They're forcing them through 2 chokes.
Yeah, if your communication's on point here, you know that Vegas can only come through back spa door and through like the main door. And even if they get kills, every single person is off spawn, coming and throwing tacks, stuns and nays towards spa or main door. You can pinch mid. So Vegas is in a bad spot here, especially in a land match when everybody's on point and has a trap going. Very, very tough, especially versus one of the top talented teams in the world. So
yeah,
Thieves so far have been playing perfect. They're also winning a lot of fights that Vegas maybe could be winning or should be winning, but right now Thieves is just absolutely frying. They have rotation to P4 here, and I mean, literally they were in the driver's seat the entire game up until they weren't.
Look at that again. I mean, they literally walk in. So I'm going to back up here and just show you guys how this unfolds. So basically on this, rotating into the diner hill, this is something you see a lot. You'll see either 1 or 2 people go around kitchen. They know that someone's going to be kitchen because in this scenario, the reason why the team's set up like this is because they're blocking this side spawn satellite or chandelier, whatever you call it, and they're blocking this side kitchen. So they're kind of funneling them through rugs and like double arches, or they have to take the long route around. So it's like that's the ultimate setup that you can have off the rip of the hill, just because if you get the kills, you put them in a blend. If you get 4 dead here, they're in a blend.
Yeah, and also rule of thumb, like you kind of want to hold kitchen side here on this hill because the next hill is back deck. It rotates to like the back side of the map. And essentially, if you get kills and you have kitchen side, like you said, they're all going to flood chandelier. They can wrap big door, but also based on where Thieves will spawn, they could literally just flood hill and get there right away. They can easily pick up mid. I mean,
look at this scenario.
It's nearly impossible to break when a team has this setup.
So I'm guessing the 8 kind of blocks this. Because, I mean, they're not spawning here. So, but, like, look where they're spawning. They're spawning P4 right here. I mean, what are, like...
And it takes a decent amount. I mean, like, they're forced to wrap right and then cut through mid. It's...
And an off angle again out of Kenny.
And keep in mind, like, Thieves right now, their comms are on point. So if they don't see anybody in front of them, they're wrapping mid, they're wrapping right. So Vegas... They can't do anything here. Luckily, they're able to get some kills and push through. But look, the spawns are still in for Thieves. The only thing Thieves have to do now is hold. I mean, there's so many head glitches back there. They're spawning up with attacks. It's the fact that this map ended without Thieves winning it's definitely one of the craziest comebacks in Call of Duty history.
I mean, right here at this point in the game, Thieves have the back plat rotation. They have all of kitchen control. Kenny pops a 2-piece. He ends up getting traded because they gave up scrap. But I believe that this is where the comeback starts, and they even get 2 kills off the rip of this hill. They get 3 kills.
Yeah, and real quick, just rewind just like 2 skips. So Vegas actually spawns 2 of them spa, but because they get 2-pieced, Thieves actually spawn on like a natural pinch, and notice how where they spawn. So it is ideal for Vegas to spawn them out behind them, but then they drop. And then Thieves are pushed up in spots where they can just turn around and spawn kill. Watch. Vegas will spawn up spa. They're forced to go front and mid. And now those players are already pushed up, cutting them.
And Tej is their only hope right here. And Tej goes big. I mean, he ends up dying, but he gets another one. He kind of forces them to turn around. They still get 3 deaded, but, dude, what was the score? It was 207 to 63, I'm assuming? Or 60-something?
Something like that. I'm pretty sure it's 207 to 67 or something. Yeah, 63.
This right here, that was big. What just happened right there, I want to highlight this just because if Sam doesn't die right here, so you see Thieves get 2 kills, Vegas comes right back with 2 kills, and if Sam doesn't die right here, I think this game is over. I'm not kidding.
mean, yeah, it would be 230 to 63.
Because Sam's going to hold an off angle in hill. He can either come back stairs or he's doing the jump up right in front of him, which is an absolute freebie. But since Sam dies out of hill here, kind of over challenging, it allows Vegas to not give up another 30 seconds, which would be just, that's dagger time at that point. You're not.
To be fair, the dagger time has already occurred. Like, no matter what, Thieves should win this game 10 out of 10 times. The fact they didn't, of course, you got to give Vegas their flowers. They obviously made the comeback. But, the amount of misplays we're about to watch from Thieves to allow this to happen,
so you're telling me right there, if Sam doesn't die,
no,
they don't win. They don't auto win this map.
No, I agree with you. But I'm saying, nonetheless, even disregarding that, this game should be over. 10 out of 10 times, this game should be over. I agree with you. If Sam gets that time, the game should be over. But either way, the game should be over. It's 206 to 83.
I completely agree. But here you're going to see Vegas kind of get that good side of the map again. Teams typically want to spawn in kitchen here to try to fight for that P1 time just because it is the closest spawn, and you kind of see a little bang out. Vegas just ends up ultimately winning the trades and they're giving Thieves the P2 spawn, which right here, Thieves is probably still fine with this. They're still up 100 points. They're about to have a free P2 rotation, and you kind of see him just back off of this time.
Yeah, so Sam gets butted there, and Thieves are in the ideal spot. Yeah, they lose fights P1. Thieves, Vegas get P1 scrap. But you spawn P2, and now all you have to do is pretty much make one wave of kills to win the game. And somehow, some way, Vegas, they find the kills, and what was looking like a clear-cut win for Thieves starts to get sketchy. But even now, we're sitting on that couch and we're saying this is still over.
This is still over.
Thieves are going to win. I threw up $1,500 because I thought this game was over. And then you see the kill feed. It starts becoming orange and orange and orange. And now Thieves have to break, and they get some kills, but they don't really do much with it.
I want to talk about it. Vegas kind of does the impossible probably 2 or 3 times here, because breaking a setup, getting 4 dead, and being able to soak most of the time, the chances that happens like 4 times in a row, which is inevitably what ends up happening, it's so hard to do at this level, especially against a team like Thieves, and that's why this is so shocking, because you don't see teams at the caliber of Thieves lose games like this.
And they were also in a pretty good spot there, Thieves. Sure, Vegas have rotation to P2, but they're spawning in spots where they can kind of trap them back P2. And you saw it goes kill for kill, 2-piece for 2-piece. Sam finds 2. Nonetheless, Thieves can't actually keep them trapped. They don't block that kitchen spawn, so someone from Vegas actually spawns there. So even if Thieves didn't get a full trap going, they still had the spawns that kept Vegas pinned in the back, and then they had rotation to kitchen. That doesn't happen, and somehow Vegas is now in kitchen snaking their asses off.
Vegas is back in. We talk about it all the time. The snakes are in. This is a hard one to break. If your push gets staggered on the kitchen hill, you're basically fucked.
Well, also, let's talk about just, the mental that's going on for Thieves right now.
They're breaking.
Now they're frantic. They had such a clear-cut win in the palm of their hands, and next thing you know, now they're breaking kitchen. So they have great communication, obviously, a lot of
some of the best in the league.
Yeah, honestly, I think we'd probably give them best comms in the league, at least before this tournament.
I might give them best comms.
They have great comms, but you have to assume, the game's pretty much over, and next thing you know, they're trying to break kitchen. And at that point, no matter who you are, you're in your head, you're like, what the fuck is going on? We're breaking kitchen. And things definitely get hectic. But nonetheless, still not a bad spot for Thieves.
No.
They have rotation to P4. They know that all of Vegas has to be in front of them. They can either long route around and pinch all the way around, or come front and try to break us off headies.
This game just gets more and more insane because you can feel it. Every single time there's a rotation, you just see someone get blooded on Thieves. And it always just snowballs into a break. And you see it right there again. Dylan gets picked L-desk. Probably didn't want to die right there. They sniff the guy out couches, and then they know they're all in the back. And Vegas essentially just flips the map on.
Rewind real quick. I love Sam's play here. His attempt to kind of re-break this. Notice, I think it's number 3. Big Door actually picks up Sam on the pinch. Or I didn't see exactly who it was, but watch the route Sam's going to take. Instead of just flooding hill and getting spammed by attacks, he's actually trying to take a longer route and pinch around couches and get a pick. Number 3, that's Donnie, who had an unreal tournament, by the way.
That's an unbelievable read.
That's a huge – that was a huge kill from Don, and honestly, a game-winning kill right there. Because if Sam pinches couches and shoots this guy off this heady, he opens up the map for his team.
I don't know. Do you think he got hurt right
I don't know. It's
because that is an insane read.
Yeah.
You kind of assume that somebody might take a route there, but you think they're going to shortcut like double arches. You don't think they're going to go all the way around rugs and try to make that play. And then this was controversial right
Correct.
here. I want to talk about it. Do you think this is a stair glitch?
I would have to see the POV of the players because it looks like he wasn't trying to. Like, he looks backed up off the stairs. If he was inched up a little more, without a doubt, he was trying to do it. But I don't think he was trying to do it there.
Apparently you can.
What?
You can stair glitch right there. I didn't think you could. I thought you could only do it on, like, the rug stairs looking to, like, back chandelier.
Yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is that there shouldn't exist. So it's hard to fault the Clay there because he's just laying down, holding an off angle, knowing where they're about to come. If he, in his head, knew what he was doing and he meant to stair glitch, yeah, it's a little weird. If not, can't fault him at all. It's just one of those things that, I mean, I would love to see it patched and fixed so we don't have this bullshit where people are, you were stair glitching, blah, blah, blah. Like, especially in the heat of the moment when they're trying to win a game and, I don't think right there in his head he's like, I'm going to stair glitch. Maybe. I mean, he's a sick guy.
He might.
He's a sick guy, but
it might
I don't
have been
think
in
so.
his head. But, I mean, you see the final bang out here and, I mean, yeah. That is warranted.
Look at him, yeah.
I mean, did you think that this... I thought that Thieves still were going to win the series.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm surprised 2Real doesn't just chuck his pillow at Octane because I would just frisbee it across the stage after a map like that. It's, 207 to 63. Unacceptable map from Thieves. I mean, I'm sure that goes without saying, but also I don't think... I mean, I hope we do, but I would find it hard to believe that we'll see a comeback like that happen again this year.
That was insane.
That is nearly...
I gotta stop saying
I mean, that's unlosable. Yeah, we say I mean a lot.
Yeah, that is an unbelievable scenario. Props to Vegas. We're not going to see that. Yeah. We're not going to see that again. But we thought that we'd throw this in there as kind of like a little bonus for you guys. We have the round 11 Seattle versus FaZe. Probably the series of the event right here. I
mean, this was one of the best series ever. In the control, it comes down to a 1v1 on points. Cellium versus Pred. Pred actually wins it. Next thing you know, it's 2-1. Seattle, they had an insane lead on Fortress Hardpoint Map 4, just like they did at Major 1 against the same team, FaZe and Surge. Somehow, some way, again, FaZe make that comeback in Fortress. The whole world is talking about what the hell is happening again. Surge, they're able to close out Map 4. Fast forward, we go to a 5-5.
And look at this ballsy call out of FaZe. I just want to highlight what they do in this round 11. So you see this strat in ranked a lot. They throw their pre-nades over. They double nade over back orange, and then Abe just runs through orange.
He doesn't give a single fuck.
Instantly with an AR.
Yep.
He wasn't even using a sub. And he ends up getting the blood on Mac, but I believe he gets naded to all hell here.
After he survives these nades, I thought it's over. And next thing you know, Sib finds a grenade and a sniper pit.
I thought right here it was over. I thought they got info on this guy P2. I thought Pred was just going to fly at him. They get him weak, crossing back P2. I thought that was the round. And instead of flanking, Simp goes back through their side, which ends up being a god play. Just because they probably think he's just pinching at this point.
Yeah, I mean, right here, 2v3, you have to assume that FaZe at the disadvantage, right? Sib finds a big 2 to give him numbers advantage. And what unfolds is pretty nutty, especially because Pred, I believe, has 16 at this point. He dropped 16 in a map 5, 17 or 16.
Against FaZe.
I think it was 16 in the map 5 loss.
And this play out of Simp was also insane.
Insane.
Simp runs through bottom orange knowing that they're probably going B with the bomb. He just runs, he takes his timing, and he just gets out. And he ends up getting a kill out of it. And then, obviously, we know what's next. This is...
I mean, he just got deleted.
That is insanity.
That was like a Thanos snap where he saw him, and next thing you know, he was gone for 5 years.
He's 35 health right here.
Yeah.
He's 35 HP.
I mean, and Pred was making the right play, right? I mean, he hears someone's weak.
Trade.
You know, this guy's going to run back right in front of me, orange. Like, I'm about to go get this trade for free. He's weak.
Yeah.
This is free. Next thing you know, he gets shotgun to hell. That's one of those unlucky things where you can't fault Pred at all. And I can almost guarantee that Simp was even shocked by getting that kill.
Yes.
And FaZe get it done. So
look at him.
I think there's a real argument to make that Surge probably should have won that series in a reverse sweep fashion. But
I mean, look at
an insane sequence of events. Yeah. I mean, how can you... And you got to feel for them because that comeback would have been insane.
The tournament's different. This was in the winter semis. This is a completely different layout of the tournament. And that's why we kind of talk about how Call of Duty is just so fragile. Imagine that goes the way of Seattle.
Yep.
How different does the tournament look?
You can make an argument for Surge making a tournament run and winning the tournament there. I mean, they beat FaZe in a fashion like that, reverse sweep, a confident team like that with a player like Pred, a player like Sib. they're a good ass team, and somehow, some way, FaZe clutches that up, and I mean, I don't even know what to say about that.
I do want to say I'm happy for the Seattle guys. They were obviously receiving a lot of flack. They had a pretty turbulent stage 2, especially in search and destroy.
They had an awful stage 2.
They had an awful yeah. I mean,
they were. It's just like last year, man. They have a terrible stage, which makes no sense for a team of that caliber. And it gives them that wake-up call. They start taking practice more serious. They all start hitting form individually and as a team. And now they're contenders once again, I think. Like, I think they can beat any team, at least in respawns, and their searches have looked a lot better. No one is playing Surge like they were in Stage 2 and go into that saying, oh, we're playing Surge. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are contenders again.
Next, we've got our final